Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. I will be joining Senator Collins here. You know, I tried to express just a few minutes ago, I really believe in this account, but one thing I believe in is not throwing good money after bad. The jury is in for me with UNRWA. They're dead to me. We've learned enough for me to never give these people another penny until they're completely changed. How much more do we need to know before we conclude this is a bad investment? Not only do we have 12 UNRWA employees on tape participating in the attack against Israel, there's all kind of evidence. There may be up to 1,400 people associated with Islamic Jihad and Hamas. UNRWA is a UN agency that employs people on the ground. Well, the people they're employing on the ground are really radicalized. I mean, how did October 7th happen to begin with? When you teach your children math by saying if you had 10 Jews and you kill 6, how many would you have left? That has to stop. There's just a mountain of evidence that this organization's been the problem, not the solution. And one thing about UNRWA, did anybody not notice the power bill kept going up? Literally. There are tunnels under the headquarters hooked up to the power cable, running servers, weapons cache. And I'm supposed to believe you didn't know? Have you heard anything below lately? This is ridiculous. So the House says no money all the way through September. I want to marry up with the House to give this bill some chance of passing. And I want to make a statement here about what I'm against. I'm against organizations that have been corrupted. This organization is corrupt to its core. And there will be a bipartisan vote here today that will echo what I'm saying. And let me say this about the Palestinian people. I hope and wish you a better life. That's going to come only after Hamas is destroyed. And it will come from people in the region, not the American taxpayer. It will come when the school systems change. De-radicalization and demilitarization, I think, are non-negotiable for Israel and me. I say this without animosity toward the Palestinian people because I can only imagine what it's like to live with a bunch of terrorists every day, all day, for all of your life. I hope that will be over soon. But to the United Nations, you're making a guy like me's jobs impossible to keep this crap up. You need to look in the mirror at the United Nations and say, what did we let happen? And if you're not willing to end it, we will end it for you. So I respect Chris Coons as much as anybody in this body. I will respectfully vote against your alternative. Now's the time to send a clear signal to the United Nations. Clean your act up. Thank you. You know, to my friend, I want to work to get Saudi and Israel to normalize, and part of the deal would be a better future for the Palestinians. That's the only way you're going to defeat Hamas. I mean, I get all that. How many of you on this side have been told about UNRWA for years? Everybody, all of us have been told. It's not a right-wing thing. Most people in the conservative side of Israel, Minister Gallant, have been warning us about UNRWA, and I keep supporting the account up until now. Whatever oversight we have, Senator Van Hollen, failed miserably. Under the headquarters, there are weapons caches, computer systems, and housing for Hamas commanders under the headquarters. So I would say whoever's involved in monitoring how UNRWA works, you failed. I had nothing against these people individually, but how much more evidence do we need to have before we say UNRWA is not a good deal for the American taxpayer? It's not a good deal for stability in the region, and I am just insistent that this organization on our side of the aisle is dead because of their actions, not because of false accusations. It's because of the people we have on tape It's because the family members we know associated through intelligence, not coming from Bibi, but coming from Assad. So I know how this vote's going to end, but I have no apologies to anybody for saying UNRWA should be defunded until it is fundamentally changed. I may. Yeah, I'm not going to give a dime to UNRWA anywhere. If we missed the tunnels in Gaza, what are we missing somewhere else? I think I'm probably one of the biggest advocates for Jordan on the committee. I'm always arguing with Chris to give him more money. What you're not getting here is that I don't care what they do in Germany. They didn't do anything they want to. I like Germany. I was stationed there 4 years. I am done with this. I mean, it is hard in the environment where so many problems at home, talking about helping others. Well, you know what? We need to help others. I don't mind helping the Palestinians, but how can you say that is a good investment by the American people to give a penny to this group when they're on tape, 12, 30, 40, who knows, actually participating in the attack? I've seen the literature they produce. Does anybody doubt the statement that under the headquarters in Gaza, there was weapons caches, housing for Hamas, and computer servers hooked up to the UN power supply? So no money for UNRWA anywhere, period.
Okay, I'm still confused, though, because I understand what
Money
you're
for
saying.
Jordan, yes, none
No,
for UNRWA.
I understand what you're saying, but when you say money for Jordan, is the ability of that funding able to do the same humanitarian effort that UNRWA could do in Jordan? And why is the king so concerned about it if that's the case?
Because they've got Syrians.
Yeah, they have humanitarian. They're taking the burden of refugees. I hope people, it's good discussion, but Jordan's really helpful. I mean, Syria's breaking down. They're surrounded, man. And the king of Jordan, he's a good investment, not perfect. So, yeah, but we're helping Jordan more, not less, Senator Shaheen. But I can't stress enough that the UNRWA infrastructure to me is tainted. And,
Well, just to be
That's all I'm
clear, you're
saying.
saying yes, and Senator Coons is saying no.
okay.
If I can,
Senator
what I
Coons,
think,
if you can.
what I'm trying to answer your question, if Vice Chair Collins' prohibition passes, does that prevent funding going to UNRWA in Jordan as well as the West Bank, as well as Gaza, as well as Lebanon? Yes, it prevent my understanding,
Yeah.
not to characterize someone else's, but I think Senator Graham was quite clear and forceful.
Yeah, oh, no, I mean it to be. If it doesn't, I want it to.
However,
I want to be really
however,
clear
there
on
is
this.
additional money
I was
going.
just
What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to be very honest with everybody. The UN needs to reevaluate what happened here. Why would you say if this, if that? No, the case is closed right now for me. I am trying to send a signal to the United Nations and other organizations, don't ever let this happen again. I'm not ever going to give a penny to UNRWA until you convince me that everybody that was in charge is fired. To the people, you know, I like Dave said, if it was your job to manage UNRWA, you failed. What are we doing here? We're trying to keep open a line to an organization that's completely tainted. Senator Shaheen, I admire you greatly, Senator Cook. I don't mind helping people. I want to give money to other organizations who I don't think will build tunnels under the headquarters, you know, be complicit with this attack. UNRWA has blood on its hands. They're part of the problem, not the solution. I have no desire, zero desire to help UNRWA. You can't convince me they've changed. Nothing's changed that I know of, and no ifs, ands, or buts about UNRWA. This, to me, would be a mistake, Senator Coons, to say there's no accountability in Washington. There's going to be some accountability here. So I want to make sure we don't give a dime to this organization anytime soon.